ladies and gentlemen, that is last year's roster. Here's what we're going to do to fix it. I apologize. We are going to put the new roster on a PDF and we're going to send it to everybody. I'm going to connect it to Hans Neihart and he can get it to who wants it. I'm going to send it out to all the children. I got you covered. Cool? Sweet. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen. These outstanding students have spent the entire week participating in rehearsals, sectionals, master classes, and intensive instruction with our incredible staff of professional educators. Under their direction, the students have worked tremendously hard, and let me tell you, they are so excited to perform for you this morning. Wouldn't you agree, students? They are ready to go. So the Lions Clubs across Kansas, as well as our distinguished guests, have dedicated immense time and effort to continue the traditions of the Lions. Their devotion to service, volunteerism, and humanitarian efforts has definitely not gone unnoticed. Please help me show our appreciation for all of their service. At this time, we would like to welcome our distinguished guests. The past International President, J. Frank Moore III, and Lion Rita Moore from Daleville, Alabama. The Kansas International family, past international directors and their spouses. The 2025-2026 Council of Governors and their spouses. And the 2025-2026 First and Second Vice District Governors and their spouses. Thank you all so much for your continued efforts in ensuring the future of music education in our great state. These next individuals have been very near and dear to my heart for a good long while. It is with complete certainty that I wouldn't be a band teacher if I wouldn't have met these amazing individuals. This camp, these folks, changed my life. And through that kindness, I found my calling, sharing my love for music with generations to come. But it doesn't stop there. I am just one person. This couple has changed an inordinate amount of students' lives. They have served and continue to serve in a myriad of ways for the Kansas Lions Band. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me thank Hans and Sherry Neihart. So this Lions Band Camp is a truly spectacular experience, being as every single student attending camp was sponsored by Kansas Lions Band. Have a hand for all of this. The Lions' generosity knows no bounds and makes this opportunity accessible to all students from across Kansas, allowing young musicians to grow both musically and individually. We would not be able to make this camp happen at the level without their continued support of our Lions Clubs, family, community members, and audience supporters like you. So thank you so much for all of your support. Throughout the week, students experience life on a college campus by staying in the dorms, eating in the dining hall, building friendships, and learning from professionals in the music field. It is an unforgettable experience that creates memories and musical growth that lasts a lifetime. We are very fortunate to have a wildly positive culture and climate with schools across the state. From that, we have a myriad of students who keep coming back for more. These students participate not once, not twice, but would our 3-year students please rise and be recognized? We are so thankful to share the Lions Band experience with these next individuals who embody what it means to serve. They return every single year that they are in high school. Would our 4-year students please rise and be recognized? Finally, for the overachievers in the room, They just can't seem to get enough. Beginning as far back as the summer of their 8th grade year, these members are truly, truly dedicated to their musical experience, growing their musicianship and leaving an indelible impact upon the world. Would our 5 years please stand and be recognized? Now it is time to recognize some truly exemplary music educators that facilitated a special and musically rewarding Lions Band experience. Please hold your applause until the end. Music staff, as I call your name, please rise and be recognized. We have the camp director, Eric Stambaugh, the assistant camp director, Larry Browley, jazz director, Jack Cassidy, flute instructor, Lynette McLeod, clarinet instructor, Alex Meek, saxophone instructor, Nate Brydup, trumpet instructor, Andre Silva, horn instructor, Eric Starnes, trombone and euphonium instructor, Andrew Shearer, tuba instructor, Trey Gehring, percussion instructor, Joe Montez, the brass student assistant, Aaron Bowler, the woodwind student assistants, Cole Whitcomb and Hannah Fleming, and finally the secretary and librarian here at HCC, Bethany Newbern. How about a hand for these folks? I knew that he would have world-class musicians being in front of our students, and that is ultimately the goal. We are so thankful for him and his direction at this camp. Have a hand for Mr. Eric Stambaugh. We would like to extend a sincere thank you to all of Hutchinson Community College for hosting the Kansas Lions Band Camp and providing such a wonderful environment for learning and performance. I would be remiss if I did not give credit where credit is due. Between the herding of cats, facilitating uniforms, and making sure all students are healthy and safe while experiencing this outstanding camp. Lions, families, and students. How about a hand for our chaperones? And now I'm super tired of hearing me speak, which is okay. Let's get to the music, ladies and gentlemen. Have a hand for the 2026 Kansas Lions Band under the direction of Eric Stambaugh. Good morning. My name is Eric Stanball. I'm the director of bands here at Hutchinson Community College now for 4 years. And let me just tell you, this week has been an amazing experience for me. I've been out of the high school realm now for 4 years, and being with these kids for a week, I'm itching to go back. And that says a lot about you parents and grandparents, because you set them up for success. They have been absolutely amazing to work with. Will you please give them a hand? I will do my thank yous later, but I think we all understand that coming up we have the 250th birthday of America. So you'll notice in your program we have a lot of American tunes. Our next song is American Barn Dance. It's a little bit of tongue-in-cheek. You'll hear a lot of American spirituals in the middle of it. I hope you enjoy American Barn Dance.
background for you so that it makes more sense. So David Holsinger is a composer, and he wrote a series of works based on hymn tunes. This next one, On an American Spiritual, was a spiritual first, and then it made it into the hymn books. And the tune is Were You There? So the middle verse of this that you're going to hear is very brutal and chaotic. He took the text and he wrote according to what he sees. So the first part, Were You There When They Crucified My Lord, is very plaintive, very sorrowful a little bit. Then all of a sudden it gets very brutal and chaotic. And those words are, if you were singing it, Were you there when they nailed him to the tree and laid him in the tomb? And then the last verse at the end of it is more joyous and exuberant, and that is Were You There when he rose up from the grave? So this is American Spiritual by David Holsinger. high school for 8 years. After this week, I'm not itching to go back. They are great, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time with them. This next piece has 4 movements to it. So we're going to ask you not to apply till after the 4th one. And it's going to be a little while in between because all our fabulous percussion have to move a lot of stuff around. We also are going to rotate piano players after movement 3 before movement 4. So you'll know when it's over 4 times. So it's, I don't even remember what's first. What's first? And then we have water, and we have earth, and then fire, right? Cool. All right. This is Elements by Brian Balmages. piano players stand up for a minute? Let's give them a hand. I did not know when they came in to play the piano, so I need a piano player. So that was great. I didn't tell the students this, but I hate to say this out loud. 51 years ago, I was in the Kansas Lions band. Well, I was at Coffeyville Community College with the Lions band, and then I went to Dallas, Texas for the international band. Which the year before they went to Tokyo, and the year after was in Hawaii, and I went to Dallas. That's the greatest. But I really enjoyed my experience, and any of you like in the Lions band maybe way back when. So back in 50 years ago, every band member had a sunflower. It was like made out of felt and stuff, and it was pinned on your uniform. It's still in my trumpet case, 51 years later. So, yeah, that was pretty cool. So this next piece doesn't have anything to do with Americana. It's Out of Darkness, and it doesn't even, it was written for a community band. It's a celebration of our anniversary. But this is Out of Darkness, and it's kind of cool.
audience, will you please stand and let's acknowledge them? Do we have them? Yes. Your job is more than many know about. So thank you for that, and thank you for bringing such amazing kids. Before we have a lot of thank yous later on after the next two selections, but there's one particular individual I want to definitely thank, and that is Mr. Ted Nelson. Ted, I see you up there. I know you don't like acknowledgement, but Ted Nelson is in charge of this arena, and he's a former band dad. No, you're always a band dad. But Ted, thank you for all your efforts for this arena and making it look amazing and working with us. Thank you, Ted. When I was a high school band director at Liberal and Mueller, I'd always get asked by Randy, hey, you got a kid that you want to send to Lions Band? I'd go, without question, yes. And there's a couple reasons for that. Number one, what the Lions organization stands for and the constant give back to community. That's number one. Let's give a hand for that. But 2 and 3, every time my kids came back from Lions Band, they came back even better musicians and, more importantly, better human beings. So thank you, Lions organization, for making this happen, because we all know that these kids are going to be our future, and they're going to be our CEOs that are going to repair our world. Yes, everybody? So my job was to pick literature, and of course I do some heady stuff, really great literature, right? And I go, I've got to have a fun piece, right? And it's going to be the Bruno Mars greatest hits, because he is on tour this year. Do we have any Bruno Mars fans? All right, so of course I pick all this really good literature, and then what is their favorite, most of them? Bruno Mars, and that's okay. So without further ado, Bruno Mars greatest hit. use, because if I don't, I'll forget, and I'm sorry for a she, because I will forget everything. So first of all, I would like to thank Hans and his wife, Mrs. Neidhart, for all your trust and judgment in choosing this place and allowing me to be in front of the kids and your organization. Thank you, Lions Organization. So thank you. Somebody that doesn't get a lot of recognition, and that's Galen Wisman. Would you please stand, Galen? Galen and his amazing chaperones all throughout the week. We got to deal with music. They got to deal with all the behind-the-scenes stuff, so thank you. Our music faculty, the most amazing human beings and musicians, putting the kids in right places, so thank you to our music help. And then more importantly, how many were at the concert last night? Such a great concert. Your kids and them, thank you. Give them a hand, please. Two ladies that aren't here, one's on vacation, one is in the office as we speak. Kim Ivankovich is our finance chair here at Hutchinson Community College. She has been with me every step of the way when we found out we were committing to HCC. And Bethany Newburn, which is our secretary, she has done so many things. They are amazing. Even though they can't hear it, will you please give them applause? You'll notice the group is a little bit smaller this year, but we got 3 camps going on here at Hutchinson Community College. Space Camp, and we also have our Skyriders in tow this as well. So there was a lot of things in play, especially with the community college. I would like to thank all the ups in the Hutchinson Community College, our president, Mrs. Paramore, as well as all of the faculty that helped us out over there, and more importantly, the Kansas Cosmosphere that gave them a free night of just exploring. So if you would give them a hand. Two more thank yous, and I know I forgot somebody. I'd like to thank the parents. Because let's be honest, there's a lot of things that kids are involved in today. We get pulled in so many directions. Like we're becoming professional athletes at age 7. We're trying to be professional musicians at age 12. I get it, and it's a balancing act. And then your kid does not listen to you. I get it. But more importantly, thank you for giving them a gift and supporting their gift, because once they're done from high school and college, they'll always have that craft. So please give yourself a hand as well. And then last but not least, I would be crazy to not thank these people, and that is the people behind me. What amazing musicians and amazing people. Guys, we're in good hands if they're in charge. So will you give the kids a hand? All right, enjoy the ride. Circus Days March.
our international guest. Frank, would you come up and lead us, the band, and can you hear that line for, please? And I would like to present you with your own song.
I need to turn it on.